So now let us just talk something about the workshop. As what exactly we will be targeting. Our target audience is finance professionals. Obviously, chartered accountants, cost and management accountants, company secretaries, and few other professionals who would be occupying the position of or close to CFO, and those who are connected to audit, financial reporting, or expected to learn what is stored for in the AS, which is to be followed from 1st of April 2016. So let us just make the point very clear that it is not completely a different set of accounting standards. Of course, there are some radical changes in some of the accounting standards we do have. These should not be misunderstood that it is completely new. So let me make the point very clear. It is not a session where we are going to unlearn and then learn in the AS. Unlearn the old one and learn the new in the AS. It is not like that. Whatever knowledge that we had in the existing accounting standard can very well be secured and kept in our reserve. And whatever changes that we are likely to have on in the AS shall be added, and it becomes a great amount of knowledge. What is that we can visualize? I will give you an example. From there you can easily understand. In the case of property, plant and equipment, PPE, what International Accounting Standards IAS 16 is there in our accounting standard as AS 10 and AS 6. So AS 10 plus AS 6 is equal to IAS 16. It is not like in every case it is like that. So we are very fortunate that IAS 16 is equal to AS 10 plus AS 6. Let us take up a small example as what exactly we need to learn something new in IAS 16, which we don't have it in AS 10. When an asset is installed at the very initial stage, so we capitalize all the expenditure which are causing the installation and make it ready for its intended use, including that of borrowing cost. In IAS 16, what they say is that apart from that, we are expected to capitalize such expenditure which are likely to be incurred and which are substantial in nature, which are likely to be incurred towards the end of the life of the asset. For example, a plant, when it is to be dismantled after 5 years, where it would be costing heavily, we can't consider that as an current expenditure in the year of dismantling. We are expected to capitalize the cost of dismantling at the very initial stage itself. Are we not having that in AS 10? Yes, we don't have that in AS 10. Whereas IAS 16 communicates something about what is to be capitalized, which includes the cost of dismantling, not at its future value, but at the present value of such dismantling cost. We do have a reference about this cost of dismantling to be provided for in AS 29, provisions, contingent assets and contingent liabilities. In that, they say that through one of those examples that cost of dismantling should also be capitalized, but they never talk something about the cost of dismantling should be carried out at present value, whereas IAS 16 communicates something about capitalization of cost of dismantling at present value. That means today I got to record the present value of dismantling, and in each one of those years the provision is expected to be taken on a compounded basis. That means today when I record as 160 lakhs of rupees, and in the following year the provision should be increased for the finance cost. If it were to be 10%, I got to debit profit and loss account and credit my liability, and this liability will grow, and on the date of dismantling, this should match with what was initially estimated as what could be the cost of dismantling. Whereas the sum that we have capitalized would be the cost of construction plus the present value of the cost of dismantling alone. So this compounding or the amount of interest cost that we were debiting in each of the years will not be taken for capitalization. So we will take up the cost of construction plus present value of dismantling at the very initial stage, and then depreciation will be carried out either on SLM or on WDV basis as the case may be. This is only a small example which I have just quoted, which could give an idea about us what exactly we are expected to learn through this workshop. So it is not a question of unlearning. So whatever knowledge that we have secured is very much a very good input for us, and plus these sort of changes that we are going to incorporate, now it becomes a full-fledged learning where we will be equipping ourselves for meeting the future. Next. The next thing that we have got to, so I will put it this way, no unlearning. It is only learning. Only learning. Then next, what exactly we will be doing in this workshop? It is not purely theoretical discussion alone. Theoretical discussion will give you knowledge, or I would just say the basic learning. A complete knowledge which is required for the purpose of application would be requiring a lot of practice. So questions which were asked in the past in this examination of diploma in IFRS and other related examinations were globally encountered practical scenarios are taken up there as a case study, and we will apply the principles of accounting through this International Accounting Standards IFRS on to those scenarios, and we will be finding out as what exactly the solution that we are expected to offer. That means we will be having a lot of case studies for the purpose of bringing this basic learning into a hardcore knowledge. The basic learnings upon application into practical scenarios, many practical scenarios will become a hardcore knowledge. So that hardcore knowledge is the one that we are trying to emphasize, and we will be concentrating more on case study issues only. It is not purely a principle that is being discussed at all points of time. So principle we will discuss, we will apply the principle into case studies, and that becomes a full knowledge. I would say principles plus application in case studies will equip you with fullest hardcore knowledge. Once you are knowledgeable, then you can encounter any such scenario. It is not that 100 scenarios that you have got to learn. So when we just learn say 5, the rest we can apply in this world. So that is the advantage that we derive. Apart from that, we will also equip you to take up the examination of diploma in IFRS. So please do attend to this seminar and be benefited. Thank you.